And the Indian Sports Network is on the air. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Kenny Masterson coming to you live from Clopton High School in Clarksville, Missouri. And we are here this afternoon to see the remainder of a game that was started last week. And as you can see from the score here on the computer on your screen, as you can see, we're just going to be continuing the game from when it was played. They played 1.5 innings, and in the bottom of the first inning, in the top of the second inning, Elsberry put 9 runs up on the scoreboard, and then they played all of that in rain, and finally the rain got bad enough that they had to stop. It was getting way too slick and too dangerous for these young ladies to be playing. So they decided to just continue the game from where it was, and we have a beautiful field out there today. Nice weather, a little bit cloudy, but there's some blue sky up there. And so as we let's see, I know that the roster is going to change some once they get going for Elsberry. For Clopton, it didn't sound like it was going to, but I'll go over them real quick to bring you back up to date with the way this game is. For Clopton tonight, batting first is number 15, Mary Garrett. She's the second base. Batting second, number 11, Bria Smith, right field. Batting third, number 14, Brooklyn McKinney. She's the pitcher. Batting fourth, number 22, Shanna Yates. Shortstop. Batting fifth, number 24, Kerrigan Lockard, left field. Batting sixth, number 7, Janea Bizan, center field. Batting seventh, number 23, Logan Hall, first base. Batting eighth, number 5, Madeline Bruni, catcher. And batting ninth, number 21, Jasmine Hammett, and she is third base. And the way the roster is starting tonight for Elsberry, and we'll just have to see how the substitutions go, but the way it's starting tonight, leading off, or batting first, I should say, because she won't be leading off. On the lineup, batting first, number 9, Tyra Henderson, third base. Number 16, Mackenzie Gladney, catcher. Number 15, Kylie Kinsler, pitcher. Number 20, Kelsey Flaster, left field. Number 19, Morgan Jones. I didn't have it written down there, but she's first base. And number 3, batting sixth is number 3, Peyton Robinson, shortstop. Batting seventh, number 17, Neosha Henderson, and she is right field. Batting eighth, number 18, Taylor Mooney, and she's the designated player, so she's not going to be in the field. Number 14 is batting ninth. That's Abby Jenkins, and she plays second base. And the flex player is number 2, Tiny Henderson. She plays center field. So we'll just have to see what the changes are going to be. And as you can see, both teams have gone off the field now from their warm-ups. So it won't surprise me if this game starts just a little bit early, or the continuation of it starts a little bit early, I should say. Let's take a quick break here, get some commercials in here.
Since 1995, Heartland Restoration has specialized in all types of masonry repairs, concrete restoration, above and below grade waterproofing, snow removal, epoxy joint repair or replacement, and all types of floor coatings. Our mission is to serve you with over 35 years of experience, someone you can trust to do the job right the first time. If you have a project, big or small, please give us a call. Heartland Restoration, 314-993-6377.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that. But when it comes to your money, Wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
All right. The other night when this game first started, Clopton only batted one time, and that was Mary Garrett flew out to second base. Bria Smith struck out, and Brooklyn McKinney grounded out to second base. So they were down 1-2-3 in the first inning. In the first inning for Elsberry, let's see, Mackenzie Gladney got on after Tyra Henderson flew out to left field. Mackenzie Gladney got on, and let's see, try to get this straight here. Can't read my own scoring. They got two runners on. Morgan Jones also walked and got on, and couldn't make anything happen. But then when they came up in the top of the second inning, then that's when it all started. Neosha Henderson and Taylor Mooney, they each walked. Abby Jenkins got a single, and Tyra Henderson got a double. Mackenzie Gladney walked, and Kelsey Flaster got onto first base on a strikeout. And so with one out, Morgan Jones got a walk, and they just kept walking, and a couple of hit by pitch and all kinds of neat stuff here, and it resulted in 9 runs. So that's how the score got to be what it is right now, 9-0. But the Clopton team at the time going into that game was 1-2. They've since played several other games, and they are now 6-3. So they're not a team to sneeze at. They're the real thing. They are 6-3, and Elsberry is 7-3, coming off a loss to Silex the other night. The Elsberry team it just depends on which team shows up. For instance, in their 3 losses, they've only scored 1 run. 2 of the losses were shutouts, and the other one they only scored 1 run. So it's obvious that they didn't bring their bats with them on those losses. And on the wins, with the exception of one game where they only scored 2 runs and won 2-1, they've scored a bunch of runs. They are a high-scoring team, but they have to hit the ball first, and they just couldn't hit the ball against Silex the other night. They hit it a few times, but they couldn't sustain anything. So let's see how they react tonight with playing this game over a week's time. So, make sure I got the lineup right. One difference I can see right now is we have Addison Steele out in right field. So, leading off for Clopton is going to be number 22, Shani Yates, shortstop. First pitch is a ball 1. And there's a call, strike 1. Kylie Kinsler has been pretty steady pitching this year. Call, strike 2. I was talking to her after that game over at North Callaway the other night, and ball 2. She mentioned she was nervous out there pitching, but she sure didn't show it. She looked just as calm as can be. And there's a swing and a foul ball straight back to about 3 feet from my head. Another foul ball back here. Count remains 2-2. Kinsler looks in. There's a pop-up foul. Gladney or Henderson, neither one could get to it. There's a ground ball over to third base. Tyra Henderson scoops that up and gets it to Morgan Jones for the first out. Brings up number 24, Kerrigan Lockard. Hard hit ball to second base, went right under Abby Jenkins. So, Kerrigan Lockard on first base. She just didn't get her glove down. So, with one runner on in the form of Lockard, we have Janaea Bazan on. She is up to bat. Center field. Call, strike, and quick throw down to first, but not in time. Ball one. 1-1 on the batter. And they're Gladney's keeping a close watch on Lockard. Swing. Quick throw down to first, and they almost had her. Meanwhile, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Janaea Bazan. Bazan, I'm not sure which it is. Right back to the pitcher. Throw over to second, and Peyton Robinson tried to throw before she caught it. So, with a fielder's choice, Bazan is on, and we have runners on first and second. Still just 1 out. Brings up Logan Hall, first base. So a couple of defensive miscues out there, and Clopton is threatening with 1 out. There's a bunt. They get it over to first, and there's the second out. All right, that's going to bring up number 5, Madeline Bruni. Clopton has runners on second and third with 2 outs. Ball 1. Ball 2. That is 3 balls, no strikes on Bruni. She is their catcher. And there's a call, strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Right back to the pitcher, over to first base. And so Clopton threatened, but they couldn't come through with it. So no runs, couple of errors, and 2 runners left So we are now all the way through 2 innings. The score is still 9-0.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Missouri. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, starting off the 3rd inning for Elsberry is going to be number 15, Kylie Kinsler, the pitcher. This game ended the other night, where they stopped the game with Mackenzie Gladney getting the 3rd out, flying out to right field. And the ball comes skipping in and gets away from the catcher, but nobody is on. 1 ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Ball high, 2 balls, no strikes. Three balls, no strikes. Kinsler struck out her only time at bat earlier in this game. There's a call, strike 1. Looked a whole lot like that last ball. Must have been about 1/8 of an inch lower. Here's ball 4. Kinsler with some good patience there and draws the walk. So Elsberry gets their leadoff runner on, brings up Kelsey Flaster. Coming into this game, Flaster is batting .290. I didn't mention that Kinsler is batting .483. Ball 1. Flaster's the left fielder. She reached on a dropped ball by the catcher on a strikeout. Call, strike. And Kinsler gets to second base unopposed. Ball high. 2 balls, 1 strike on Kelsey Flaster. Three balls, 1 strike. Kinsler down there teasing them like crazy on second base. There's call, strike 2. Full count on Kelsey Flaster. Ball hit between second and first, and Kinsler's going to come in and score. And Flaster gets on to second base. So still nobody out, and Flaster and Kinsler just traded places there. So the score is now 10-0. Batting now for Elsberry is Morgan Jones. She's the first base. And there is called strike 2. She walked both times she was up last week earlier in this game. She is quickly down 0-2. Hard hit ground ball down to third base line, but it is foul. Remains 0-2. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Flaster down on second base. Nobody out so far. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the first out for Elsberry here in the third inning. Number 3, Peyton Robinson, the shortstop, is up. Robinson is batting, where'd we go here? .258 this year. Ball 1. Throw down to third, gets away, and Kelsey Flaster is on third base. We have 1 ball, 1 strike on Peyton Robinson. So Flaster 60 feet away from making this an 11-0 game. Ball 2. Hard hit ball to third base, and Coach Levi made a heck of a stop over there. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Foul tip remains 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kelsey Flaster is on third base wanting to score with 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 2 strikeouts in this inning. And it brings up, well, we're going to have, Addison Steele is going to be batting. She fouls it. So strike 1. Ball 1. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike on Steele. She didn't bat earlier in this game. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 runner on. 1 run is in so far. Flaster would really like to cross that home plate. Ball 3. Full count on Steele. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 1 run is in. There's 3 strikeouts in a row. Kinsler scored after walking, and Kelsey Flaster drove her in, and then 3 strikeouts. So we go into the top of the 4th inning, or I'm sorry, the bottom of the 3rd inning, and the score is 10-0, Elsberry over Clopton.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders.
All right, leading off the third inning for Clopton is number 21, Jasmine Hammett, third base. Swing and a miss, strike one. After her is the top of the batting order, Mary Garrett and Bria Smith. Ball one. Swing and a miss, strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul tip right back here. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and two. Swing and a miss, strike three. That's the first strikeout of the day for Kinsler. That's her second of the game, but it's the first of today. So with 1 out, brings up the top of the batting lineup for Clopton. Mary Garrett. In the first part of the game, she flew out to third base. Swing and a miss, strike one. Foul ball back to us, and it is quickly 0-2. And there's a line drive right to Abby Jenkins at second base. So 2 outs. Brings up number 11, Bria Smith, right field. She struck out earlier in this game last week. And she's 1/3 of the way there right now. Strike one. Ball one. Swing and a miss, strike two. Ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on in the bottom of the third inning. Score is 10-0, Elsberry over Clopton. Ball hit to shortstop. Robinson throws and gets her for the 3rd out. Let's see what they're going to do here. The way the rules are, that should be the end of the game. But let's see what they do. All right. I said I wondered what was going to happen, and I was quickly told what was going to happen. So they're going to go to 5 innings. It's 10 runs after 5 innings. I thought it was 3 innings. But that shows what I know. So anyway, we are now going. I better change the innings. We are in the top of the 4th inning. And in the top of the 4th inning, we're going to have Taylor Mooney. She's going to be batting. Ball 1. Strike 1 called. Mooney has a 200 batting average coming into this game. Hard hit ball down the third base side, but it is foul. So she's batting now with 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and she is out. That's 4 strikeouts in a row. See, that's Brooklyn McKinney that's pitching for Clopton, and that is 4 strikeouts in a row now. Brings up number 14, Abby Jenkins. Jenkins is batting .321. And she, on the first pitch, is hit by the pitch. So, Elsberry now has a 1-out runner on first. That brings up the top of the batting order with Tyra Henderson. And she kind of swung the bat trying to get out of the way of the ball, and so we have strike 1. In the meantime, Abby Jenkins runs to second. There's ball 1. Ball hit back to the pitcher. Throws over to first, gets Henderson out at first base, but Abby Jenkins does advance. So a 1-3 put out. There's now 2 outs, but Abby Jenkins is on third base. Brings up Mackenzie Gladney. And Gladney is batting .379 this year. She has 10 RBIs. Call strike 1. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Abby Jenkins on third base, desperately wanting to cross that plate. She's only got 60 feet to go. There's a fly ball fouled on the first base side, but first base is under it and out. So Elsberry leaves a runner stranded. And at the halfway through the 4th inning, the score is Elsberry 10, Clopton 0.
By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, batting in the bottom of the fourth inning for Clopton is going to be number 14, Brooklyn McKinney, number 22, Shanna Yates, and number 24, Kerrigan Lockard. If anybody gets on, it'll bring up number 7, Janaea Bazan. Kinsler takes her obligatory first pitch, or warm-up pitch. Yeah, Elsberry defense sets out in the infield. And Brooklyn McKinney, their pitcher, is up. Ball 1. Call strike 1. Foul tip into the glove, but that is strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. High fly ball, and who's going to get to it? Peyton Robinson comes from shortstop, and she gets into foul territory for the out. So 1 out, nobody on, brings up Shanna Yates, shortstop. Ball 1 on Yates. Ball 2. Clopton with no base runners right now. 2 balls, no strikes on Yates. 1 out. Call strike 1. High fly ball out into right center. Oh, and Addison Steele just missed it. It was right off the edge of her glove. So a 1-out hit for Shanna Yates. Brings up number 24, Kerrigan Lockard, left field. Call strike 1. Called strike 2. Kerrigan Lockard got a hit her first time up and made it all the way around to third base, but then was stranded there. Ball 1, throw was down to first base, but not in time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball hit to third base, throw over to second. On to first, but not in time. So they got the lead runner. So Lockard got on the fielder's choice. So with 1 runner on first and 2 outs, Janaea Bazan is up. Throw down to first. And not in time. That first pitch was a ball. Ball 2. Keep throwing down to first. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, 1 runner on first. Call strike 1. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. High foul ball coming back into out of play. Remains 2-2. Another foul ball coming right back into the Elsberry crowd. So still 2-2. And there's a call, strike 3. And that's a third out, and Clopton strands a runner. No, let's see, 1 hit and no runs in that inning. As we go into the top of the 5th inning, the score is Elsberry 10, Clopton 0.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay. Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
Okay, we are going to see, where did we end up last time? Mackenzie Gladney was up last, so we have number 15, Kylie Kinsler, the pitcher. She's coming up. She walked in the 3rd inning and scored a run. She stole second base and then scored from second base on Kelsey Flaster's double. But she is up again. Coming into this game, Kylie Kinsler is the leading hitter for Elsberry with a .483 average. She didn't bring that up any in this game because she walked. First pitch to Kinsler is a call strike. Ball 1. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike on Kinsler. She's the leadoff batter this inning. And we have 3 balls and 1 strike. Hard hit ball right up the middle, and Kinsler is going to try to stretch it into 2. And she does so standing up. She's quite possibly one of the most attentive base runners. She is looking all the time to see what's going on. And she saw immediately she could turn that into a double. So high fly ball or foul ball, and it drops. They can't get to it in time. So dramatic first strike for Kelsey Flaster. Hard hit ball out into left center, and that was a ground rule double. It went over the fence on a bounce. And so once again, Kelsey Flaster hits a double and knocks in Kylie Kinsler for another run. So the ball gets past the catcher, and Flaster is on third. Morgan Jones up to bat now with nobody out. Flaster on third base. Ball one. Two balls, one strike. Three balls, one strike. Morgan Jones patiently batting up there. There's ball four. So, runners at the corners for Peyton Robinson. Peyton Robinson is, she's batting .258. And she's got 2 home runs so far this year. They had her square up to bunt, and she takes ball one. Meanwhile, Morgan Jones is on second base. Jones bunts the ball. Flaster's in. Okay, the way that all worked out. Flaster came home. Morgan Jones tried to come home, but on the bunt, and she was caught out at home. But Peyton Robinson ended up at second base. So there is one out. And another run in. Addison Steele is batting now, swing and a miss. Score is now 12-0. I missed a score there someplace. I'll catch it up now. One and one on Addison Steele. And Peyton Robinson is on second base. Ball hit to shortstop. Throw over to first. They get Steele at first. But Peyton Robinson slid in under the throw. She slid in under the tag at third base. So Steele did advance Robinson. That's 2 outs. Taylor Mooney takes a call strike. Peyton Robinson is 60 feet away from score number 13. There's a foul, a high pop up, and just barely foul. Third base has it for the third out. But Elsberry gets some more runs. And going into the bottom of the 5th inning, the score is Elsberry 12, Clopton 0.
Ever wonder where your hard-earned money goes when you deposit it? It stays here, at home, to help make living here what we've all come to expect. We've got everything the mega banks do, but we've made a commitment to our community. So when you're looking for the right bank, see People's Bank and Trust, Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
All right, coming up in the bottom of the fifth inning for Clopton is going to be number 23, Logan Hall. She grounded out on a bunt, I believe, to first base her first time up. Call strike one. Hard hit ball foul down to first base, and that brings up strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. Ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Logan Hall. Ball 2. Evens up the count at 2-2. Ball 3. Logan Hall has battled back. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Foul tip back here by me, remains 3-2. Hard hit ball right to Morgan Jones. It's a race to the bag. And okay, they originally called her out and then called her safe. It was close, I know that. So Logan Hall on first with the leadoff hit. It was close. Morgan kind of fumbled a little bit out there and had to chase it down and just couldn't quite get back there in time. In the meantime, we have Madeline Bruni up to bat. Call strike one. She squared up to bunt and bunts it foul, strike two. Foul tip goes over the glove of Gladney. Remains no ball and 2 strikes. Hard hit ball to shortstop, over to first. I'm sorry, over to second. So they get the lead runner. So Madeline Bruni is on with the fielder's choice. Brings up Jasmine Hammett, third base. She struck out her first time up. There's a fly ball, drops into center field, and almost a force out at second base, but not quite. Tiny Henderson did a good job of getting that ball in. So Jasmine Hammett with the base hit. And so 2 runners on, 1 out. Brings up Mary Garrett. Fly ball into right field. It's going to chase after it, and nobody's going to get it. Strike 1. Mary Garrett, second base. No balls, 1 strike. 2 runners on for Clopton right now and 1 out. Hard hit ball to second. Quick throw over to first, and she is out. Good play there by Abby Jenkins. That does advance the runners. Clopton does have runners on second and third. Brings up Bria Smith. Ball 1. In this game, combined of the 2 days, Bria Smith has struck out and hit out to shortstop. She is now 1-1. 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 2. At this point in time, Clopton is down to their last strike. If they ended after 5. There's a pop-up right there. Kylie Kinsler's underneath it and has it for the 3rd out. And that, folks, is the game. So, final score of 12-0. Took a week to play it, but we got through it. And one thing, it was 9-0 coming into it. So actually, in this part of the game, Elsberry did score 3 runs and didn't allow any. And Clopton did threaten it. They threatened greatly, at least twice. So Elsberry did play good. They got the bat on the ball a number of times. They hit solidly. So they need to take that into tomorrow evening's game against Louisiana. And as they play Louisiana tomorrow evening at Elsberry, and then Saturday going into we're going to have the Louisiana tournament, and I believe the first game is going to be 9 o'clock. Or the first game for Elsberry is going to be 9 o'clock Saturday morning, and it's going to be against this same Clopton team. So, just because they defeated them 12-0 today doesn't mean that they're just going to walk all over them Saturday. They need to bring the big guns out if they want to beat them. This Clopton team, just looking at them, I got a feeling they're just a little bit better team than what they were showing in this game. I don't know how much psychologically that works against you when you go into a game you're already 9 runs down. But that's bound to work on you a little bit. But once again, they couldn't seem to put a whole lot together. All right. So anyway, we are done for this game. And so we're going to back it on out of here, and we'll be back again tomorrow evening from Elsberry, where the same Lady Indians will be taking on the Lady Bulldogs of Louisiana at Elsberry. So tune in again. It's a 5 o'clock game. So for the Indian Sports Network, here in Clarksville at Clopton High School, this is Kenny Masterson saying good night.